Psychosis Entertainment presents the Jimbo Trashy Podcast.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
It's the Jimbo Trashy Podcast,
Everything
where
is a
everything
conspiracy.
is a conspiracy.
is a conspiracy.
Even you
Everything
are a
is a
conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Everything.
I am your host, Jimbo Trashy. This is episode 41, and I am back. The show is back. And, you know, it's been called the Jimbo Trashy Podcast for X amount of years. In fact, I think the last episode that I recorded was in 2013, so, we're 12 years later in the future. And in those 12 years, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things are different now. But I feel like podcast has kind of ran its course as far as a term, as far as what you would call this. And right now it's an audio only. We're going back to an audio only format for now. But it will eventually get back to where it was with video and multiple camera angles and all that, or however I see fit. But to me, it's more like a show. And I'll put, pictures and visuals up there for you guys to stare at while you're listening to this to make it more entertaining. But I guess the question that's on everyone's mind now is why? Why is this back? I thought you were done. You've kind of faded from the internet spotlight, so to speak. Release things here and there, periodically. On a whim, if you will, and not so much on a consistent basis. Well, I just I've came to a decision that there's so much shit that is going on in the world that is in my brain a lot of the times that I try to put out in different outlets through cartoons or music or social media posts, which to me is like the worst form of any self-expression you could do, but it's the easiest. So I felt like the best way to, convey my thoughts or give you a different perspective is to reignite, recrank the engine, get it started back up of the Jimbo Trashy Podcast, now known as the Jimbo Trashy Show, episode 41. We're going to continue right from where I left off and discuss the things that are going on today. And I feel like the things of today are a lot more interesting or provocative, alluring, things that you would want to talk about in a more in-depth format than what I was doing before back in 2013 when, honestly, the news was a bore. It was, I feel like that was like the beginning of Clown World, as we know it today. It started in like 2012, the early signs. If you want to go really far back, it's when Obama became president. But it was so subtle, and it was such minute changes that no one would have noticed a difference from the status quo during the 00s with the Bush era. I feel like when Obama became president, that's really when things changed for the worse. But it wasn't immediate. It was a slow, gradual effect. And I feel like we first started noticing things in probably 2013. If you had your ear to the pulse, if you had your hand to the pulse of what was going on in the world, you started noticing around 2012, 2013. And now here we are today in full-blown clown world where women think they're men think they're women. People are identifying as trans this, trans that, transracial, trans fucking species, trans whatever. And that's just on a social aspect of how crazy this fucking world has become and this reality that we experience on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like it's now my obligation or duty to, speak on it in a social commentary aspect, because that's what I've pretty much done since I've became known to the internet people, to the world through the internet. The people who've followed me, at least. If you find me somehow, you dug through the trenches and you find me in your pursuit of weird shit, and you come across my content, you've noticed that everything I do is a social commentary. And why not, right? So here we are. And I don't really have a format that I've laid out. This is kind of winging it. Just doing it on a whim. Ad-libbing, if you will. Improvising. But what I'm going to do here is, I guess, surf the net. And kind of give you my opinions on things. And I will bring up, like I said, visuals. Right now there's no visuals as I'm doing this. It's just going to be what I see on the screen. But I'm going to bring up things that I see and put it on the screen when it's when this audio is uploaded. So I'm going to go to patriots.win. That's a website I like to go to just to kind of see what's going on in the world without mainstream media bias. Now, granted, there's, you could say, MAGA bias. And that's a whole different form of bias that I wasn't really privy to at first because, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Even though in 2020, my vote didn't count, and I was told that my address where I had been voting from was no longer valid. So that was interesting to find out I was no longer valid to vote for the 2020 election, and I could do it through I forget what they call it, like a preliminary ballot or whatever the fuck it's called. And of course, it's never going to get counted. They already determined the winner of California within like half an hour after I voted, so it's all bullshit. But I know for a fact in 2020 my vote was not counted. But nonetheless, I voted for him in 2016, 2020, 2024. And it wasn't because of, cult of personality, Donald Trump could do no wrong. He was just someone that I viewed as better than the other option. And my whole thing about people that are upset about Trump being president, it's like, if you wanted Trump to not be president, why didn't you pick somebody better to run as your candidate for your party? You're telling me the best you could come up with was Joe Biden or Kamala Harris? That's fucking ridiculous, dude. I'm sorry. If that's the best you have to offer, and then in 2028, it's probably Gavin Newsom. If that's the best, or AOC maybe. If that's the best you have to offer, then you're going to lose. Sorry. Nobody wants these fucking idiots that you keep picking. So anyways, I'm going to scroll here through the feed on patriot.win. See what gets my attention. Oh, Jasmine Crockett is melting down now that redistricting is happening and she'll lose her House seat. She can't win at this point, even though the midterms are over a year away, according to this person that's posting. And let's see what she has to say about this shit. Okay, first of all, the fact that Jasmine Crockett thinks her voice is the majority voice in the state of Texas is retarded. She's not the majority voice. Most people can't stand her. Even other Democrats think she's fucking retarded. But it just goes to show how desperate this party is now, where they're propping up like anyone that is just on the checklist of like female, black, fucking anti-Christian, or whatever it may be. That's all is really required now to be a political candidate. Just be the opposite of what has been going on for the last 50 years. And you're going to be immediately ushered into the fucking upper echelon of that party. And that's what we're seeing with Jasmine Crockett. A complete fucking retard. And somehow she's like the voice of the voiceless. And it's really ridiculous. Let's see. Arizona woman sentenced to 8 years for helping North Korean spies to infiltrate U.S. companies. Allowed to infiltrate 309 U.S. companies using false identities as IT workers. Huh. Christina Marie Chapman, a 50-year-old Arizona resident, has been sentenced to more than 8 years in prison for her role in a scheme that allowed North Korean spies. I don't understand this, dude. Like, you're so miserable in the U.S. You hate whatever the fuck you think's going on here, whatever you think's wrong. So you want to spy, or you want to risk your freedom to give North Korea whatever intel they need to put you in prison, because nothing's gonna happen to North Korea. They're just gonna be, hey guys, don't do that again. But you, the U.S. citizen who helped them, you're gonna go to prison, and somehow that was worth it. These people are so fucking stupid, I swear to God. If you hate living in America that much, your best option is to just pack your bags and fucking move. Yeah, I'm looking at an article here from Breitbart. It says Bleeping Computer reports that in a significant development in the fight against international cybercrime, Christina Marie Chapman, a 50-year-old woman of Arizona, has been sentenced to 102 months in prison for her involvement in a scheme that enabled her to have North Korean IT workers infiltrate 309 U.S. companies. Wow. That's bizarre and ridiculous. But yeah, we're living in a world now where people just aren't grateful for the little freedom they do have. I'm not saying America's perfect by any means. I get that, you know, there's a lot of things there's things I don't like about America. I don't like how America is like at the beck and call of Israel. I don't like how Trump is like on his knees kissing the ass of Netanyahu. But nonetheless, it could always be way fucking worse, and I feel like these people don't understand that. They think that, I don't know, they have it better in, you know, Africa maybe, or East Asia. I don't know. It's just, these people are so sheltered, and they need to go to another place. Give them a year. Just put them there for a year and see, hey, do you like it there? Do you want to stay there? Is it better than where you were? And then, you know, I guess if racism is that much of a big deal to you, then you can stay there, and then you'll never have to deal with quote-unquote racism ever again, I guess. That seems to be the biggest problem that I hear people whining about when they complain about Trump or just like the predicaments in the U.S. in general, is racism. Oh, it's so racist. Oh, I can't do anything. Meanwhile, it's like you're on $1,000 phone, living in $1 million home, and you're complaining because somebody said the N-word, or somebody looked at you and you didn't like the way they looked at you because it felt like it was you're being targeted or some shit. Shut the fuck up, dude. You live in a first world country. Get over it. People are allowed to have their opinions. No one's forced to like you. You can't make a law that says they have to like you because of your skin color or whatever else. And here's the thing. If you did somehow convince the government to make racism illegal, they would just find another reason to dislike you. Because you're too fat. Because you're too short. Because you're too fucking ugly. It doesn't matter. People, it's human nature to not like people for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's just reality. And these people that want to like sugarcoat it or try to like put a band-aid on it somehow with like social justice, it doesn't work that way, dude. You're just putting gasoline on a fire, you know? It's really the dumbest thing you can do is try and police people's thoughts or words. The best thing to do when someone has a dumb idea or stupid words is just counter it with better words or better logic that makes them feel stupid for thinking that way. I mean, people think, for myself, for example, oh, he's heavily tattooed, he's Hispanic, he must be a gangbanger, or he must fucking vote left, or he must think this, or must think that. I just try and be the best person I can be, and if they still think that after observing me for X amount of time, that's their own issue. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know why anyone cares what people think of them. It's just a stupid, small-minded, activity to just worry about what people think about you, especially when they don't even fucking matter to your existence. These people that think negative about you, are they helping you pay your bills? Are they helping you in any sort of way to make you even want to continue going day to day? If the answer is no, then it doesn't fucking matter. Let them hate you. I actually like when people hate me because it fuels me to prove them wrong or just to fucking piss them off. Because I'm just wired that way. If you don't like what I think, if you don't like what I'm doing, I'm going to do it more, twice as hard, just to make you fucking mad about it. Anyways, moving on. Let's see here. What else we got in the news? Oh, here's the funny meme. Only the cops should have guns. Cops stopped the MI stabber, I don't know who the fuck that is, which proves citizens don't need guns. And then the counterpoint here is, actually the hero was armed. Actually the hero was an armed citizen, not the sheriff. Then it goes back to the NPC. I should have known it was some racist white supremacist. And it goes back to the, fact checker. The hero citizen with the gun was a black man. And then it shows the NPC here getting pissed. Okay, I'm going to have to save this one because I don't think it's going to be here when I actually use these graphics or anything. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to put that on... we'll put that on in the archives here for episode 41 of the Jimbo Trashy podcast. Title it Mean for JT41. There we go. As a matter of fact, I might as well go back to where I was with the other story. What was that? We'll find out later. Alright here, so what else we got going on? Of course, internet's lacking. Lagging and dragging. Guess what, my internet's fucking taking a shit. We can change the subject for a minute. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 a lot. It's like the only game I've been playing for like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Maybe even longer, honestly. It might have been like, it's probably been like 5 months now, maybe even close to 6. I haven't beaten it yet. I've just been doing all the side missions, and I'm pretty much at the last mission where it's like, hey, if you go beyond this point, like you can't, like you're at the point of no return, basically. So once I got to that point, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do all the side missions now. So I've been doing all the side shit for the last 4 months, and then when I first played this game, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of winging it, and just, there's a specific build or a way to like build your character to make him like better. I wasn't even like following any rules. I was just like, okay, that looks cool, whatever. Click on that one then, and just kind of like playing like a dumbass basically. But now that I've been playing for a few months, I kind of like get like, oh, I need this attribute or I need that attribute. And I gotta say, I bought the game when it first came out, and it had a lot of shit press because they didn't have the game ready. So I kind of ignored it for like 5 years. It was like sitting in my archives of games to play, and I finally, dusted it off this year. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna really sit down and play this game now because I bought it when it was brand new. It was like $60 or whatever the hell it was, and let's fucking get my money's worth. And I gotta say, after all the updates and shit they fixed, it's a really fun game. I wish it would fucking put some more DLC in there. I'm gonna say, like, it does feel a little empty in some regard, where it's like, once you figure out the few little things you can do, it's like, oh, it'd be cool if I could do this too, or do that. I wish there was a little more, like, customization with the vehicles, or maybe a little variety on the weapons and the way you can modify them. But overall, it's a really fun game, and every time I'm like, let me try playing a different game today, I always find myself like, nah, fuck it, let's just go back to Cyberpunk. So I've been on Cyberpunk for a while, and if any of you guys play Cyberpunk, say something in the comments and tell me what you think about it, or or whatever, you know. Maybe you have what's your build? How do you build your character? What do you think is the best optimal way to destroy NPCs, I guess, is the question here. But anyways, I've been doing that, so... Okay, my computer's working now, where I can actually look at the news, I guess. Let's see here. Breaking. CIA Director John Ratcliffe indicates indictments and potential prosecutions are coming for John Brennan, James Comey, and Hillary Clinton over the Trump Russiagate conspiracy. With this, it's like, dude, I'll believe it when I see it. I just can't see... I mean, maybe John Brennan and James Comey, because they're like, whatever, they're kind of... I feel like the government kind of views those people as exposable because they weren't ever president, or they're not someone the public would really like fucking cherishes as a cultural icon or what have you. But Hillary Clinton, if she goes to jail, dude, I'll be fucking thoroughly impressed with this administration's police work. However you want to describe it. I'm actually drinking this drink now. It's called a Trip Mindful Blend. My sister-in-law actually got me informed of it. It's an adaptogen. It tastes really good. This flavor is elderflower mint. A lightly sparkling drink. And it's kind of like a replacement for alcohol. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like cold turkey not drinking alcohol, but I realized I need to slow it down. I need to chill. I'm not fucking 21. I can't just be partying hard like I did back in the college days. So it's nice to have something that kind of, replaces booze when you feel the itch to have a drink. I still have a drink here and there. I just try to limit it, make it more special occasions, you know. But yeah, this is really, if you guys are trying to cut down on your drinking, I definitely recommend Trip. I know there's other brands out there that do the same thing, but this is an adaptogen, or how do you say it? Adaptogen. It's an adaptogen drink. So if you like adaptogen drinks, I really recommend Trip. The flavor is really delicious, and like I said, I'm drinking the elderflower mint, and it's good. And it definitely does crave. It definitely kills that craving for booze. Like, it doesn't replace booze as far as like what it does. Like, if you want to just like be out of your fucking mind, sloppy drunk or whatever. But if you just want to like take the edge off and just kind of relax, I definitely recommend these drinks. Or at least drink one of those or two of those in between your drinks if you're having a night of drinking, so that you're not fucking totally hating life when you wake up in the morning because you only had, I don't know, 4 alcoholic drinks instead of fucking 20. You know, it definitely helps. So I would recommend that shit. Okay, so I don't know why it's just not loading. It's really annoying. But what's going? Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan died, dude. Hulk Hogan died. How fucking sad is that? And you know what really pissed me off with the whole Hulk Hogan thing is these people are on the internet, dude. God, shut the fuck up. They won't stop whining about shit he said fucking in the privacy of a home, like what, 10, 15 fucking years ago? Who gives a shit? Oh no, he doesn't want his daughter to fuck black guys. Who gives a fuck? Does anyone want their daughter to fuck black guys that are ghetto and fucking are gonna treat them like pieces of shit? I've never met anyone that said, please be a ghetto fucking piece of shit black guy to marry or fuck my daughter. I've never met anyone that says that. If you're one of those dudes, comment in the fucking comment section here and tell me why you want that. It doesn't mean he hates all black people. You know? You can even ask black people, do you want some fucking racist redneck or fucking, white boy to fucking knock up your black daughter? Probably not, right? You're not gonna hate his guts if she does, if he does, hopefully, but you're not gonna hope for it. That's what he was saying. He didn't want that for his daughter. Big fucking deal. And anyways, all these black people get all fucking butthurt about it. Like, it's a personal attack on them. And my whole thing with that, dude, is like, can people please quit treating your skin color like it's a sports jersey? You're not on a team, okay? You are you. You have you, your family, your parents or whatever who, brought you in this world. the kids you produce, the close relatives, your uncles, aunts, maybe some cousins, and that's it. There's no fucking team. There's no, oh, we're on the black people team. We're on the white people team. No. There's no fucking teams. No one gives a shit about you. Okay? Except for the people that are closest to you. So can we please quit pretending this is some fucking team where you have to defend everyone that's black or everyone that's fucking white? It's ridiculous, dude. Hulk Hogan contributed way more positive things into this universe than the few bullshit things that you don't like about him. And the fact that I have to even explain this to anybody is like so stupid. It's like we're living in an idiocracy. It's like, okay, fine. Hulk Hogan did this and that, and he made children happy for decades, but what about that thing he said that one time in the bedroom with that girl? Like, who gives a fuck, dude? Get the fuck over. I'm so sick of these people that are just looking for any excuse to be a victim. Unless you directly call me out to my face by name, I don't hear you, dude. I don't hear what you're saying. You're gonna fucking make fun of me somehow or talk shit about the way I look or whatever. I don't care, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't affect my money. You don't affect the way I get pussy. So shut the fuck up. And that should apply to everybody. If they don't stop your money flow or your pussy flow, then who gives a fuck? It's just like, god damn, dude. Like, there's so many dudes out there that need fathers, and they're just running on, like, single motherhood fucking victimhood. It's ridiculous, dude. But anyways, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I was never the biggest Hulk Hogan fan in his early days, and he was like red and yellow. Hulk Hogan, brother, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and train. I wasn't the biggest Hulk Hogan guy. I was actually an Ultimate Warrior fan back when I was a little kid. But as I got older, I grew to respect him, and you know, especially when he became NWO Hulk Hogan. That's when I really started to like him. Like, okay, this guy isn't the fucking corniest fucker on earth. He has like a little edge to him. So when he finally showed his edge, that's when I fucking finally was like on board with Hogan. But I actually grew to appreciate Hogan more as an adult because I just feel like he was a fucking cool guy. He's a dude I don't want to have a beer with. And there's a lot of dudes now in the wrestling industry that I would not want to have a beer with because they're just so fucking lame. So to see someone like Hulk Hogan for what he is and what he was pass away, that to me that's sad, and I hate to see it, but everyone's got their time, you know. And then speaking of, we're gonna keep in the wrestling news for a minute. Bill Goldberg, he had his retirement match against was it Gunther, a Saturday Night Main Event not too long ago, and I liked it. They really did him wrong doing that whole fucking. First of all, why would you put his retirement match on a show that has got commercials? In fact, why are there even commercials on apps like Peacock and fucking Netflix? You guys are streaming on your app. I get it if you're like watching on network television, but the streaming apps are supposed to be streaming apps. It should be no commercials at all. That was the whole point. That's why people stopped watching your shit on TV and went to the internet because they were sick of your fucking ads. So what do these morons do in fucking TV? Oh, let's make a streaming app and then it'll be like the internet. No, it's not like the internet. It's just like TV, except for now we have commercials on apps. These fucking morons just don't understand why nobody wants to watch your shit. And it's because you pollute it with your fucking ads. So anyways, especially on Netflix, or even fucking Peacock, everyone's paying for these apps. We're paying for the apps for no advertisements. Get that through your fucking heads. But they just don't get it. They just, oh, what if we made a little bit more money? We made a lot of money, but what if we made a little bit more, just a little bit more? They just want to penny pinch every fucking way. And, you know, I have my opinions on why that is. And I don't want to be too anti-Semitic. So we'll just leave it at that. But, anyways, they did fucking bungle it. The fucking Bill Goldberg fucking retirement match. They should have done it on a pay-per-view. Or a PLE, as they call them now. Nonetheless, despite all that, Goldberg's been a fucking whiner. They should have let him have a speech, granted. But now he's complaining that, like, oh, it wasn't the way he wanted to go out. It's like, why didn't you say something before you did it? No, you wait till it's done and then you're going to complain about it? Like, that's just fucking retarded. This guy is never going to be satisfied. You're, like, almost 60 years old, if he's not already 60 years old, and you were able to be on network television, have a guy who's, like, at the top of his game, giving you all this fucking leeway to make you look like a threat, and you're still going to complain that, oh, I wasn't portrayed properly. Dude, if this was real world, you would have been knocked out in like fucking 5 seconds. Guaranteed. You'd have been staying there, fucking puffing your chest out, you would have headbutted you in the nose or punched you in the jaw, and you would have collapsed like an old man. Because that's what you are. You're almost 60 years old. I get you had freak genetics 30 years ago. It doesn't apply when you're almost a senior citizen. And I'm saying this as someone who liked Goldberg. I was entertained by his matches. But these dudes need to realize that their careers are over. You're never going to be what you were. And you need to quit pretending because people cheer for you that you're still going to fuck everybody up. Because it doesn't work that way anymore. The public is too smart. They're too privy to what's going on in the real world. We've seen MMA evolve for the last 30 years. We know when someone can't go anymore, dude. It's obvious. When you look winded walking to the ring, you're not going to perform. It's just, I don't know, man. Some of these dudes just need a wake-up call. I don't know. I think as time goes on, we'll see these people adapt to that, and they'll understand that we can't do that anymore. We can't have these fucking almost 60-year-old men go out there and fuck shit up because it's not going to be believable. We're going to get to that point at some point. Like when Seth Rollins is 60, like I don't think he's going to want to do that. All these guys that are on the top of their game now, they're going to know, like, no, we've already seen Goldberg do it. We've already seen this guy do it. It looks ridiculous. I don't want to be involved in that. I mean, I would say there's still a place for them in the wrestling business. Just not like on a PLE as the main event. Like let a 60-year-old Seth Rollins go out there and like defend his son or like, you know, go out there and try and like beat somebody up, but then he gets immediately crushed. And then he can be the sympathy character. Like, oh no, Seth Rollins got his ass beat. Like, oh my god, he still has heart though. Like, where's his fucking son? Get him out there to protect him. Like, he can play that role, but you're not gonna be fucking shit up, dude. Sorry, you know. And I'm 43, about to be 43, and trust me, I would love to be 22 again and feel invincible. But I mean, at 43, even at 43, I'm like, nah, I'm not what I was at 22, and I'm not gonna pretend that I am. So I know it's entertainment, and there's a fucking veil of fiction that kind of like keeps them protected. But at some point, you have to realize they're trying to make wrestling appear to be real, and it just doesn't appear to be real at all when you have these broken down old men pretending they're a threat. And I'm sorry, that's the way it is. In other news, WWE reportedly cancels late night event with Tony Hinchcliffe over SummerSlam weekend. So Tony Hinchcliffe somehow has been like attached to the hip to a lot of the WWE things now. I don't know why. I don't know who he's cool with to get that. I'm not against it. I actually like Tony Hinchcliffe's. I don't like Tony Hinchcliffe personally as far as like his face or like what he sounds like when he talks, because I find it really fucking annoying. He just looks like a fucking flaming homo, and he sounds like one too. Nonetheless, what he's created with Kill Tony and what vehicle he's created for a lot of never heard comedians, I think is brilliant, genius. I like the whole roast comedy aspect of things. I think Jeff Ross was probably the best at it. I don't know why he didn't do that. He should have been the one that created that vehicle. But nonetheless, it's Tony Hinchcliffe that's really taking it to the heights that it is today. I don't know why WWE thought that would be a good idea if they want to keep like nice public relations, because roast comedies are all about like completely destroying people's reputations. It's the roast are for people who already have a shitty reputation. I feel like that's what makes it the funniest, is when they're already kind of on the edge of like, oh, you're not going to make good money no more because your career is down the shitter because your reputation is shit now. That's when you want to roast people, because it's like, oh, we can keep you relevant because nobody wants to hire you no more because you fucking have 20 DUIs or you beat the shit out of your fucking wife and it's on camera. So how can we make money out of you? Oh, I know. Let's make a roast because you still have charming qualities. You're still funny. People still remember the things you did. So let's roast you, and then we'll kind of like glance over the, we'll kind of gloss over the fact that you were great at whatever you did, but we're gonna really just make fun of you and rip you a new one, and people tune in. But WWE doesn't want that. They want their superstars to be bigger than life. They want everyone to like worship them as the fucking next it person. You can't roast people like that because you're gonna hurt their credibility. So I'm hoping now that they'll realize that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't do whatever you're trying to do with WWE's as far as your marketing and your branding with all your characters and all your superstars, and then also have Tony Hinchcliffe there like fucking ripping them apart. It doesn't work. It's counterintuitive. Now, given that, I would like them to keep Tony Hinchcliffe involved because I don't give a fuck. Rip these motherfuckers. A lot of these people that are getting what they get need an ego check. And I feel like Tony Hinchcliffe is a good ego check for a lot of these idiots that are in social media, or that are in not social media, but in sports entertainment, that think their shit don't stink or think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Let them get their fucking ass handed to them through comedy. I think it's good for them to kind of keep them in check. But nonetheless, they're going to cancel that. So I'm not surprised there. But I guess I would say it's a good move for WWE if they want to keep their momentum. Because it's definitely going to shit on that. Nikki Bella. I just watched, by the way, Happy Gilmore 2. And I watched the first Happy Gilmore when I was a kid. Or when I was a teenager, when it came out. And it was funny. I don't really remember it anymore because I only watched it like a couple times. It wasn't one of those movies I obsessed over, like Dumb and Dumber. I watched that a million times. I could quote you the fucking scene by scene, with the lines. But Happy Gilmore I was not that familiar with. But it was in the back of my brain. I kind of knew some of this. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that too. But anyways, nonetheless, Happy Gilmore 2 I watched with my wife, and it was actually really fucking funny for what it was. I wasn't like in tears, but it kept me entertained. I'll say that. It wasn't like the funniest movie on earth or anything, but it definitely kept me entertained. Like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And it had really good pacing. And as I've gotten older and as I've watched a lot of films, to me, it's a lot about pacing. Like, you don't even have to have the funniest film or the greatest plot, but if the pacing's good, if it doesn't make the fucking viewer bored, because by the time I'm tired of this scene, we're on to the next one. We're on to the next one. We're on to the next one. You just keep the pacing quick and keep them on their feet. You can have a good movie, and I think that's what Adam Sandler realizes, and he executed it. Nonetheless, Nikki Bella was in this movie, and she got cut from the movie. I guess they cut like 20 minutes from the movie, and she's trying to make her comeback after having her domestic violence dispute with her ex-husband. So I know that was devastating. And here's the fucked up thing, is that she told her family, "Oh, I'm in this new movie. Like, I'm bouncing back. Like, come, let's go see this movie together." So they go to the fucking movie premiere, and then they didn't tell her she's not in it. So she watched the whole movie with her family or whoever she invited, and then finds out, like, on the red carpet, she's not in it. So that had to be a fucking kick in the gut. But my whole joke here, that's actually pissed off a lot of people. I said, well, that's what you get when you name your son Mateo. Because she had a kid, I guess, with that guy, and she named him Mateo. I fucking hate the name Mateo. I think the name Mateo is gay as fuck. And I meant it in tongue-in-cheek as a joke. No, I don't really think she's getting karma because she named her kid Mateo. Do I think that name is gay as fuck? Yes. And do I give her shit for that? Yes. But you'd be surprised how many people fucking have, like, flipped out on social media. Like, pissed. Like, how dare you say that about him? That Mateo is a good name. So you're trying to tell me you have a problem with a Hispanic woman naming her son after her Hispanic name? Like, no, it's a joke. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Nonetheless, the name Mateo is gay as fuck, and I'm gonna fucking stick with that. That's what you get for naming your son Mateo. I would hate to be named Mateo. Anyway, so going on here, we're gonna stick with the wrestling news for a little bit longer. What actually even matters? And none of these people, most people don't give a fuck about wrestling news. I'm a wrestling nerd, so I mean, of course, if you know me well, you know that already. I watched Eric Bischoff's interview. He was talking to I forget his fucking name, dude. He's Conrad Thompson. He had an interview with Conrad Thompson. He was asking him how did he find out about Hulk Hogan's death, and he said he was somewhere. I forget where he was at, but he was in a hotel room, and he went back to his room, and he had gotten a text that, hey man, this is what I'm hearing about Hulk Hogan. I don't know if it's true, but I'm not going to report on it yet because I don't know if I haven't had the facts given to me, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing through the grapevine. You might want to go find out what's going on. So Eric Bischoff went to go find out if his source is correct, and he went to go text Nick Hogan, Hulk Hogan's son, hey, is your dad okay? And while he was getting ready to do that, sitting on the bed in his hotel room, Fox News reported Hulk Hogan had passed away. And that's how he found out. And Eric Bischoff is one of Hulk Hogan's best friends. So I know for him it was devastating, especially to find out like that on the fucking news. I mean, he broke down during the interview with Conrad because he hasn't really had a chance to process the death of Hulk Hogan. I don't think really anyone has. It's kind of, people are really in shock. I was kind of in shock. My wife told me through a text that Hulk Hogan died, and I was at work, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I already kind of knew he had health problems. I had heard there was rumors he was having health problems. And that's something I want to talk about, too. Jimmy Hart had said that Hulk Hogan had a botched surgery. Like there was an infection that happened with the tube in his throat or something that he had back in May. He had a neck surgery, a neck fusion surgery. And I guess when they knock you out, they put a tube down your throat or something, or maybe in your neck, or I don't know how they do it, so you can continue to breathe. So while that was going on, supposedly he had gotten a bacterial infection, and that is what caused him to start having health problems. And he couldn't, after the surgery, which should have been like, just go and heal, he was dealing with an infection, which caused him to not be able to talk. And that was the rumor for the last like month or two. I don't think anyone thought it was fatal, but it was definitely like, oh shit, Hogan's not 100%. And Jimmy Hart was like kind of spilling the beans, like, hey, like Hogan's not looking good, man. And then Hogan passes away from cardiac arrest. Now I don't know if that's contributed to it. I'm sure it couldn't have helped. But now Jimmy Hart's backtracking, saying, no, I didn't say that. Probably because he doesn't want to have a lawsuit. But now it makes me just think now, like, maybe Jimmy Hart was onto something, that this doctor, for better or worse, didn't do what he had to do and gave him a fucking bacterial infection through the tube in his throat because he didn't, I don't know, maybe do the proper protocols, or maybe he was overlooking things, he was in a hurry. I don't know what the deal was, but I don't know, man. It just seems suspicious to me because Hogan's had countless surgeries since he's been in the professional wrestling business. And then he comes out, supports Trump, goes on stage, rips his shirt, says MAGA and all that shit. And he causes a fucking uproar in the fucking media. People on the internet who kind of forgot about his bullshit with the fucking N-word thing. Now they're saying, oh, see, I told you he's a racist. And it's kind of like, it was kind of like he put gasoline on the fire with that. Unfortunately, I don't think he should regret what he did, and I was happy he supported Trump in that regard. It was nice to see a celebrity fucking get off their ass and fucking stand up for what they believe in instead of just hiding behind fucking their lawyers or their fucking bullshit fucking facade of a career. But I really feel like once he fucking exposed himself as a MAGA, in and out, diehard. When anyone does it, really, but especially Hogan, you now have a target on your back, so can you trust that doctor to give you the best care now? That doctor thinks you're a Nazi. Anyone that, I mean, if you are super against MAGA, think about it. Put it from the doctor's perspective. Let's say you think Trump's a fucking scumbag. You think anyone that fucking votes for him is a Nazi, and you just can't stand anything he does. And then you have this client, Hulk Hogan, who needs you to fucking fix his neck. And guess what? He's a MAGA supporter. Are you going to give him the best care possible? Or are you going to do the bare minimum and see like how he fares? When you think he's a fucking Nazi. We're not just saying like, oh, I like Chevy, he likes Ford. No. You think he's a fucking Nazi. Right? Because you hate MAGA. You hate Trump. And then here's Hulk Hogan saying, I support Trump, brother. What are you going to do? All I know is I would not trust anyone who fucking hates Trump working on me. And I don't know if this doctor or surgeon hated Trump. I'm just saying it's a little suspicious that all of a sudden the doctor couldn't do what he needed to do without some sort of complication. And it's just convenient how it's right after he, supports Trump that, oh, a little surgical mishap. That's all it takes. I don't know. Especially with RFK involved in his administration, I'm sure the health industry is not happy about that because he's trying to do like a, overreaching, overhaul of the entire medical industry. I'm sure doctors and psychiatrists and fucking prescription companies and all this bullshit, they're all fucking pissed about this happening. So, in my heart, I believe Hulk Hogan was murdered. I won't say outrightly murdered, but they definitely ignored some things they would have normally not ignored if it was, let's say, President Obama. That's just my opinion. You guys can agree or disagree. I don't really give a shit. But I just find it a little fishy. And let's see, what else do we have here in the world of news? Let's go back to, I'm going to go to Reddit. I'm going to go to reddit.com. See what news is going on in this bullshit. Let's see. I like the conspiracy. I don't really post on Reddit anymore because I'm fucking banned. Every time I post on Reddit, they end up banning me within like a month. So I just kind of lurk now, just to see what people think about things because it's interesting. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so according to this Twitter on Reddit, Global Eye. Globe Eye. Breaking. The Netherlands officially labels Israel a national security threat for the first time over political interference. Here's the thing. I'm really liking the fucking veil being uncovered with Israel. It's about time that people really fucking realize the true problem in a lot of governments and society in the Western world. Israel is a fucking problem child, dude. It doesn't mean I hate Israel. It doesn't mean I don't think Israel has a right to not... It doesn't mean I think Israel shouldn't have the right to exist. Exist. Just leave everyone else the fuck alone. If you got problems with Muslims, you handle it. You deal with the Muslim problems. Nobody likes Muslims trying to attack anybody. But it's your fucking issue, dude. You're in the middle of their fucking zoo. You fucking deal with it. Why is it our responsibility? Why is it anyone's responsibility besides you to handle it? You imagine the U.S. like asking like Australia or fucking like, I don't know, Czechoslovakia, like, hey, can you guys help us out? We're having a problem with Mexico. They ain't gonna do shit. They're gonna say it's your fucking problem. And that's the exact same shit we should say about Israel and their fucking problem. So I'm glad to see like countries like this are fucking finally getting the hint. It's not anti-Semitic to notice things. And I'm tired of everyone acting like it is. And no, it doesn't mean I support Palestine. I don't give a fuck about Palestine either, dude. It doesn't fucking matter either way. The only thing that matters to me is Israel first. No, I'm sorry. Is America first, and Israel can be last. Israel first can be Israel's problem. That's their issue. America first is my issue because I live in America. And the fact that this even has to be explained or like articulated is ridiculous. The fact that it's even controversial is ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. I'm looking here through the Reddit lines here. Reddit, supposedly, I don't know how to pronounce this girl's name. Is it Ghislaine? Ghislaine? I don't know. Ghislaine Maxwell? I don't know how to pronounce her name. Supposedly she's being offered immunity to, I guess, spill the beans. And I don't know how to feel about this, dude. I mean, on paper, yeah, it makes sense. Because, like, yeah, hey, tell us what you know. We won't... you have to give them something so they'll want to do this, right? My thing is, why didn't you do it from day one? When you say from day one, like, hey, I'll tell you whatever you need to know, just fucking keep me out of prison. No, you've already been in prison for years. Hey guys, I'll say something so I can get out of prison, right? You've already been in there. So, okay, we're gonna let you out. What does it stop you from just making shit up now? You know? It better be corroborated where it makes sense or it's legit, you know what I mean? You can literally just say anything now to get out of prison. You be immune? It just doesn't make sense, dude. I don't know. And they've already sworn her to immunity, so if her shit ends up being false, does that mean she just, oh, sucker, you guys believed it. You guys fell for that shit? Well, I'm free now. Too late, suckers. Like, how does that work? Is she just out of prison now and they just have false leads? You know, like that'll be interesting development. I'm curious how that's going to develop, how that's going to be handled in the future here. Because I just can't see that being factual information when she could have done it from day one. So let's see what else we got here. I don't know. I'm trying to find one last topic here. I was trying to go for an hour. We're about 52 minutes in or so. I can't really find a topic I want to talk about for the next 5-10 minutes, so I guess what I'll just do from this point forward, is just explain the process moving forward for this podcast, or this show. I keep calling it the Jimbo Trashy Podcast, but it's actually the Jimbo Trashy Show. The Trashy Show. It's the Jimbo Trashy Show. Or, I'm going to call it the Trashy Show. Episode 41. Moving forward. And I know people don't really understand what is a trashy show. Like, why is it it's a show? Yeah, it's a show. The whole thing about the Trashy Show is it was basically, if you ever seen the movie The Truman Show, if you haven't seen The Truman Show, I recommend seeing it. It was a very inspiring film for me. It really made me feel like that's what my life is, like, in a lot of ways. Some of the stuff I experience on a day-to-day basis, it's like, how the fuck is this not choreographed? It really feels like a choreographed fucking movie. A lot of the time, I feel like there's people that's like, oh, I'm the guy who fucks with you every Tuesday. That's what they hired me for. I really feel like that in a lot of time and a lot of things, you know. So the Truman Show really put it to words for me. I was like, oh, that's what I've been thinking this whole time. Like, that's what. Oh, okay, it makes sense now. So the Trashy Show was a bite off of that, the Truman Show, because I feel like I'm living the Trashy Show. I can give you Maybe I'll do an episode where I can just give you experience after experience of where I've accumulated so many experiences to like, oh, this is a fucking game. You know, this is a trashy show. Even my wife jokes like, oh my god, I had the trashy show moment today. Like, it's just funny how my life has had so many incidents where it's like, dude, who hired you? Why are you fucking with me? There's something going on here. I'm kind of used to it now. I kind of laugh about it. It doesn't like affect me on a day-to-day basis or nothing. It's just at this point it's funny. But that's where the whole inspiration behind the trashy show came. So yeah, that's why I'm calling this the Trashy Show instead of the Jimbo Trashy podcast, because that's played out. But yeah, I think moving forward, it's gonna be the Trashy Show, and it's gonna be audio only from now on. I would like to incorporate. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a work in progress. So maybe I'll add some weird cartoon shit. Maybe I'll add a video thing. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm gonna do right now. It's just that I'm telling you now. This show is back formally, and it's gonna get weird. So I hope you enjoyed what I presented to you today, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Trashy Show. Where everything is a conspiracy.
Everything
Even
is a
you
conspiracy.
are a conspiracy.
Is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Everything is a conspiracy.